Good morning, guys. My name is Fidelia Wende. We're here for the Women Arise conference.
The day is finally here, Women Arise 2024. It's been quite a journey to get to this point, to be able to touch lives. The conversation that we're going to have, the women who are going to be on stage, and even the women who are in attendance are women who are very powerful and have got very powerful stories.
So today will actually be the very first time I'm telling the entirety of my story in front of people. If there was hurt, that would indicate to me that there's still healing to do and probably not the right time or the right message to convey to people.
And my face had been cut. I couldn't feel anything, but I was completely and utterly brutalized by these two men. I've experienced too much loss. I've experienced too much pain. It's enough. And I tried to take my own life.
But I also have a foundation of my own. It's called the Crown of Hope. It's for young women who are from impoverished backgrounds, and particularly I'd focus in Tembisa because that's where I'm from. And we've had about 2 projects thus far that I think I'm extremely proud of. So we get 10 underprivileged girls, and put them in different spaces that they thought they would never be accustomed to, or be allowed in, or even be exposed to.
We're going to hear this morning just the story of grace and love and the amazing grace of God. We surrender everything in your mighty hand, be the Alpha and the Omega.
But the strength of our woman is not just in our accomplishments or our triumphs. It is in our essence, in our spirit, in our very being.
We are here to empower women. You are who you are today because another woman looked after you. It takes a village to raise a child. And it takes you as a person to decide that you are going to be part of that village and raise a child who will not come out of your own household.
I started Sisters at Work Cleaning Services. When I started Sisters at Work Cleaning Services, because of my DIYs that I normally do, and my son said, "Mama, can you please do it on TikTok?" He said, "No, Mama, you'll be assisting with cleaning tips and cleaning hacks." And that is where Mbali Nhlapo, the housekeeper, started. But you are not training your housekeeper. You think she's experienced. From where? Because you did not give her the training. You didn't even buy her the cleaning book, but you expected that she's trained. Please ask that homeowners treat the housekeeping business or profession as professional as you want it to be.
Okay, before I go there, just for the record, I've had the same helper for the past 10 years. It's just having love for what I do, love for women, love for humanity, and the kindness. I try as much as possible to spread the love, the kindness, just a good heart. I think most women have that.
I still can't hire people. It bleeds into the business. So if you don't deal with your issues, it's difficult to expand as a business. And number 2, I remember I was invited to speak in Zambia for a bakers conference. Oh, guys, I didn't want to go because I didn't feel like I was qualified to do it. I didn't think I was good enough. I didn't think I had enough value to, you can be your own biggest stumbling block.
And women, we always go like above and beyond, but we're always scared to charge what we deserve. And I think when I started working on my relationship with money and dealing with my scarcity consciousness, things changed for my business.
I think as a woman in that space, I saw the need that, we need to stop this thing of being the only one and then go back and say, yeah, I was the only one in that meeting. I was the only one in that meeting. So I found a data consortium with the goal of sourcing opportunities for women to get scholarships for training, to get mentorship from other executives within the space, because I have access to them. I can ask them to hold someone's hand that's trying to break into the space, secure jobs.
But getting out of it sometimes takes you growing to the point where you can look at yourself in the mirror, in spite of whatever is going on in your life, and tell yourself, I've got this. I can do this. With God on my side, I can face any challenge. And appreciate what you have gone through. Appreciate your story and appreciate the strength that is inside of you and the way in which you rise every single day.
But there are those childhood traumas that dates back as far as when someone was 5-year-old and stuff like that.
Depending on how the trauma landed in your psyche, in your soul, in your heart, you may not know that trauma happened for you. There might be other adults around you who know about it, who then have an obligation to craft a healing path for you. It's not just about blabbing out that.
Hard to port, hard to starboard, steady as she goes and the ship steadied, cutting through fair winds and following seas. Behind a girl, Yase Clement, meant to be a prostitute. Mommy, this is the time for a selfie. Mommy, this is the time to Lalela. If God is for me, no one can be against me. This is mom now. You do not answer, ladies. You don't. You let your work speak for itself. You don't. When they said, when you go through this uncharted territory topic, you don't just nje. My friends are buying Mini Coopers and I love the Mini Cooper as a young girl. I'm like, good for you. I'm trying to dock a whole ship. I can carry 1,000 billion of these Mini Cooper. Hey!
So yeah, before I sit down, I just want to encourage us that let's also make visitation as psychologists a norm.
But in the process, you are losing yourself. Your wellness does not exist because you are trying to show up for everything else except yourself. I looked back and I said, where is Tebogo? And I found Tebogo to be non-existent. Listen, I was celebrated. Everybody's making a fuss about everything about you. But you know deep down, there is a big puzzle that is missing, which is the main puzzle, which is you.
Therapy. There's so many things that you can do to take care of yourself, you know? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you surrounded by people that are good for you, for your soul? You know, because we are always giving. Sometimes you have to pause and, am I doing these things for me? Is it making me happy? So what does wellness means to me is taking the time to really take care of yourself.
We have to learn to tell our stories because our stories, they shift boundaries. Our stories, they are healing and transformative. Our stories have a wheel of power. And our stories are unique and special, and they drive the inner sense of creating better spaces in the world.
Over the years, as I was moving through my journey, I've been writing. I write a lot. I write when I'm happy. I write when I'm sad. I write when I'm praying. A lot of times you'll find me even in church writing. I may not be writing what the preacher is saying, but I may be writing my own prayers. And I got to the realization that it was time that other people got access to that writing. So I would like to present to you Emerging is the story of my life. We're always going through something in life, and as we go through it, we get to rise and we emerge from something new every single time. There's always something that you're going through at every part of your life, and then you emerge and you emerge strong.